Okay, we're back. We're back. Popular series. I get requests for this. Let's answer general Q&A at ChiefTalk. Let's answer all these questions that people have posted here and go through it. You can see here, I've only seen one of these. So this is impromptu. I don't always get it right. You might have a better method. If you have a better method than me, let me know because I'll learn. I'll learn from you. You learn from me. Awesome. So let's dive in. Ceiling beam to follow roof pitch. And I already know what I'd want to do already. This would be soffit tool in most cases, but soffit tool has its own problems as well. And here you go. Chop Saw says soffits. Someone says you could draw a single rafter. Number of different ways to do this. Let's go over a couple methods. So I'm going to open up a scene here. It's just a brand new file. And we'll pick our two end walls here in my edit toolbar right here. We're going to change to gable walls. And then we now in X15 have this new tool where, bam, look at this guy right there. We're going to make that an open ceiling. Little camera. There we go. So now I'm going to do Alt W and then we're going to do H for, I believe, horizontal. Tile horizontally. Or actually, I want to tile vertically. So you can see side by side. So the next thing we'll do is the soffit tool. Bring this in here and keep in mind it needs to actually face the direction that you want it to slope. So in this case, we do want it to slope left to right. So that arrow needs to be in place. So I'm going to draw this out till I snap to a midpoint and make this whatever thickness you want. Let's see, let's say 3.5 inches. Snap that to the end. And I'm going to open this up. I'm going to say it's a slope soffit, place it under the roof. Press OK. There we go. You can see here in 3D, we've got exactly what we want. Now, the only problem with the soffit is if I paint this, you're going to see here that the orientation of the grain of the wood is different on the side than it is from underneath. Very strange decision here. I wish they would change that. So you could alternatively do this with a solid. You could do it with a solid and just shape it in place, shape it in elevation. The other method you might employ is I'm going to open up this roof plane, and this might be another approach you take, is I'm going to uncheck use room ceiling finish. I'm going to hit edit. I'm going to delete all these surfaces, press OK, and then let me change this to a 7.5 stud, or beam, I should say, and our rafter or truss, we're going to make this 3.5. And then the last bit is in the surface, I'm going to edit this surface and I'm going to add in a siding texture. So double click on that. Pretty siding. Search the catalog. There we go. I'm going to use this one right here. And we can see in our preview that on the underside, we've got that siding profile. So if I press OK, last bit is I need to build the framing. And look at that. I've got beams. There's a few problems with this. You need to make sure you got a row of blocking here in case you want to, well, you've got to do what you would need to do depending on the condition that you're going for. But this is a method. So just showing you that. And let's move on to another one. These usually take me an hour. I'm trying to, cut that down a little bit. All right, let's go to the next one. Reflections in windows. Let's see. I put some trees on the left. I don't want trees there. Let's see. The water reflection in the glass from the backdrop is distracting. So he wants to cut down on reflections. Let's see if we can pull this off real quick. I would say this is going to have something to do with the IOR settings, index of refraction. So let's throw some windows in here. Let's just dupe these over. Sure, we'll throw in a billion windows. No, let me try that again. Let's do 4 windows. Something like that. Let's center it up. Let's reflect it about. Let's copy it. Center, reflect about. So we got a ton of windows now. Let's go see what this looks like. And then in a ray trace view, what do we have? We're going to have to put some plants in view. So let's pull up our library browser. Let's say plant is 3D, or let's see type plants. Let's do that. And then we want is 3D. Yes. Okay. And we'll grab a couple of these. Let's go take a look. So we see we get some, I don't know, decent reflections here. Maybe it has to do with sun settings, where he's getting more reflections because of where the sun is. I mean, this is my template plan, so I might have a better window setting, who knows? But if we did want to cut down on reflections, which I can't even produce reflections. There we go. I see some reflections in there. So let's use our adjust material tool, grab this window, and you might mess around with your index of refraction. So that if we went through and changed this down to like a 1.05, you're going to see this thing is dang near see-through. So that would cut that down quite significantly. Whereas if we change this to something like a 5, now we're getting really high reflections. So I think that's pretty much solved. There you go. Sliding French doors. Sliding French doors. What are we talking about here? A 10-foot sliding glass patio door with 4 panels, but want the 2 center panels to each slide off to a side. I have a 10-foot sliding glass patio door with 4 panels, but want the 2 center panels to each slide off to a side. Is there a way to control this? I'm not quite understanding what we're talking about here. I see the picture. So you're just saying you want the 2 center panels to slide. I don't know why we're calling them French doors. Yeah, I'm kind of looking at Gene Davis as the correct answer here. So if I'm understanding correctly, what we want here is a sliding door. If I can get to a sliding door. Can't seem to. Uh-oh. There we go. Sliding door. Let's make it 10 foot. Let's open it up. And then in our options panel, we're going to have 2 left, 2 right. And that should be it. So that if we open this up in 3D, there you go. Depending on your settings, I have mine set to open 96%. That's pretty much it. I think that's what they're talking about. Okay, let's go. Next one up. Bay window room label question. Bit of a weird one. Is a bay window unit supposed to generate a room label? I'd have to go check that out. So we're going to put in a bay window. We're going to do one of the pre-done. That's in our build menu, right? Window, bay window. Let's put that in. And then I believe if we open this up, this is a good question. I'm actually not sure. I think if we raise the floor and the ceiling, does that generate a... I don't know this one. I haven't run into this. Harry says if the bay creates a room, it will generate a room label. Huh. Interesting. Maybe it's the new explode this bay tool. There we go. So we exploded the bay and it did in fact generate a room. Interesting. All right. So I don't have room labels turned on right here. Look at this. A different deal here. It doesn't seem to have room labels turned on at all. Let's try this. Let's actually add a room. So let's now drop in a new bay just to kind of play with this. Bay window tool. Here we go. And let me explode this. That did not generate a room. Why did one generate one and the other one did not? That's interesting. Oh, because one had a raised floor and the other one did not. All right, try it one more time. I'm learning something right now as we speak. So let me open this up. Lowered ceiling, raised floor, yes. Oh, it did. Generated a room label Is it? Yep, you got it. So we could then select, I know we could select the invisible wall if we were looking at it. Let me get to a different save plan view. There we go. That invisible wall, we could set it to no locate, no room definition, excuse me. So that would solve that. That'd be one way of doing it. All right, that one's answered. You can see me itching my my mustache. It's itchy right now. My mustache is itchy and it's driving me nuts. Okay. Flooring pattern gap at door opening. In a plan, I set the room specification fill style option to show an existing diagonal tile pattern in a master bath. And it's going to have this gap where a door opening is. And is that correct? I think you'd have to generate a polyline. I think it's always going to have that gap. Yeah, you just have to generate your own fill style. So kind of challenging. You can convert a molding and then, simplify that molding. You can do a couple other things. I understand the frustration here though, but should put in a request for that one. That one is straightforward. I'm not going to spend time on that one. So let's see. Changing door symbol for 2D. Oh boy. I would not do this. This is not a standard. So that's not a standard. I wouldn't encourage it, but can you change the door symbol? No. You can't. We don't have any CAD block options for the doors. We've been asking for them for a while, so I would like to I know you can change the line style. That's pretty much it. You can change your doors line style, but we can't actually put in our own CAD blocking. If you really needed this, then you just would not show doors, which would just give you an opening, and then you'd put your own CAD blocks in. Wouldn't suggest it though. We want to see that swing. We want to see what that swing's impeding. That's an old look, I think. All right, elevation tags. How can I change the size of these elevation markers in floor plan view? They show up correctly, but when I send it to layout, they are huge. When you send to layout, they're huge. Why would that happen? That's interesting. Is there some kind of override when we send a view to layout? Let's see. So if I send this to layout right now, tire plan, use layout line scaling, yes. The only reason I could see that happening is if your drawing sheet is of a different scale than your layout. So if for some reason your drawing sheet, and so if we go to a print preview here, we get in our file menu, get into print, drawing sheet setup. If your size here is different than your size in the layout, then you might be having that scale issue. But I don't think that's the case. Let me see what someone says. Yeah, I would just say that this person needs to just check in on what their text style is for that particular layer. So if I'm going to click on one of these callouts and just open up object properties, it's going to show me my callout label is the default label style. But if I were to change it to like 1/16 text style, that should get pretty huge, except for that it didn't. We're going to open this up. Let's see, plan display as callout, and this should all be driven from that text style. Selected defaults. Yeah, so you might need to change his selected defaults. I don't know. We'd have to get more info on that one. I'm going to pass it up. Guardrail on roof surface. Wants a guardrail to be placed around the perimeter of their roof. Boy, I don't even know what that looks like. 2 and 12. What are we talking about here? I wish someone would give me an example. That's a very odd one. I mean, someone's doing a big workaround here. and they're making them pull their roof back, but I don't think that's the point. I don't think we want to pull the roof back. So really keeping in mind that Chief is a tool and it's a collection of, well, it's a software, but it has a collection of tools that we can utilize. And one of those tools that we can utilize, if I get to just a roof only view here, is that we don't necessarily need all the parametric and built-in smart functions of these tools. You can always use a tool just to create a symbol. And so in that case, I can just draw a railing out here that is, a projection of the symbol, basically. So even though I can't necessarily move this railing vertically, not easily anyways, I could always convert this to a symbol, say that I don't want it to add it to the library. It's going to be a fixture. I'm going to press OK, and then now I have a symbol, right? And so I'm placing the symbol in plan, and this is when I can center this up on this roof line. I can bring this, back to wherever it's going to be placed, and then in my view, just move this in its Z, and there we go. We've got a guardrail, right? So we got a new tool to select sides. This is actually the railing. There's our guardrail, right? And this can move up, be up here. I don't really know what they're talking about here. This is an odd request, but that would be how I would do it. Pretty simple. If you need to redo it, it takes 2 seconds. Wonder if that's actually what they wanted. Creating barrel ceilings in HT Pro 2023. Well, they're in the wrong forum, but we can always show what creating a ceiling looks like. Just get in here real quick and our build roof and then ceiling plane. We've got a ceiling plane here. Let's select it. And in fact, let's make it a curved ceiling. There we go. It's as simple as that. Now, if we just select this room, that new tool opens this room up, and you can see here we've got a barrel ceiling. And you're going to have to do some math to figure this one out and get all the get everything set the way that you need it to be. So, angle at ridge, angle at eave. Go 0 pitch. How about that? 0 pitch, and let's go 12. Here. What that one? Actually, no. Let's go like 5. There. Barrel roof. Simple. Simple, simple, simple. Terrain adjustments. Looking to see if anyone can give me some insight into setting the terrain that will help me remove these white areas. Can't seem to find it. There's a few tricks for this, and I forget them. I know Dan Bowman knows these tricks, and he's really good at them, but I forget what exactly those tricks are. There's a few ways of doing this. The one I like is you create your own terrain hole. So if we're getting into my terrain view, and the building has got a deck on it. Let's say that. We're going to draw out a deck, and let's see what this looks like in 3D. So mine actually didn't cut, right? And there's part of there is a way to make it always cut for intersected stuff here. Let's see. Hide terrain intersected by building would be the unchecked. But the other thing that you can do is you can always create a terrain hole, right? So we can select our terrain, and here we go. We could actually select this. I don't know if we can convert to a terrain hole. Let me try. Let's go make room polyline. Let's convert it. Convert that polyline. In the terrain, let's go. I guess you can't. Hole in floor platform. I don't see it. I don't see that you can make a terrain hole. Terrain features, terrain break. Let's try terrain feature, and can we convert a terrain? Yes, we can. Make a hole. There we go. So we can generate our own hole if we uncheck that hide intersected. right? And now I'm creating a hole and I can edit this. This is an editable polyline, right? An editable feature. Well, it doesn't seem like you can select it in 3D. You can definitely come back here and select it here so that we can snap this back as we need to. And we're going to see that gotten rid of that hole around the deck. There we go. So that's one way of doing it. There a way to print with the reference grid on? No, I don't think so. But we could always do, you can always make your own grid, put it on your own layer, you know? Just draw out your CAD line, right? And then multiple copy, set your interval, wherever you want this to be. Maybe it's 1 inch. This could get crazy. Ugh. And then put it on its own layer and print that way. That's a way to do it. I wouldn't want to. X15 library browser question. X14 had a graphical overview of items at the folder level I found really useful. Does anyone know how to turn this on in X15? Well, he shows right here that he actually needs to, oh, he's saying that we used to be able to see the folders here as well. I know what he's talking about. We're going to get some improvement on this with the subfolder button that's going to be updated. He's not showing it in his screenshots, but let's just get back to the software and open up the browser. And then bottom of the screen here, right here, this button right there. That's going to be fixed in an update, possibly next month. And then we'll talk about this, because then I'll have a good X15 library browser overview. Because the browser is fantastic if you learn how to use it. Take my word for it, please. I've got so many cool tricks with the new browser, and it's really cool. Graphics. To everyone out there, I'm about to purchase a new laptop and could use some guidance. I need to be able to create rendering in real time if that's possible at all. I would appreciate any help that anyone could give. Okay, so I have a 4090 card. Works really well. Super fast, lightning fast. I have a laptop with a 6850 AMD card, and it works really well, and it's fast. That same laptop plugs into an eGPU that has a 7900 XTX. It works extremely well. It's kind of like a 4080. Really happy with it. That's from AMD again. I love having the eGPU plugged into the laptop because there's certain programs where I can use all three cards, which are the onboard card that can do RTX, the dedicated card that can do RTX, and the eGPU. I can use all three in some softwares, which is just crazy. Like right now, we're rendering in Chief on the XTX card. So that if I were to go open up, let's go open some recent file. Maybe we got something cool here. Maybe we don't. I don't remember. Let's do this one. Here we go. We got a little PBR camera set up here. So this is ray tracing on an eGPU with a 7900 XTX. Okay. I'm recording. So usually this would be battling that rendering. I'm recording using the internal card. That's really cool that I can separate the two because I don't have lag anymore on my recording, which is really neat. So here you go. And this is that ray tracing on that 7900 XTX card. So pretty awesome. There we go. And that's the denoiser just kicked in. Looks like a good scene. I take this into Photoshop, put some filters on it, and then it ends up looking like what? What does it end up looking like? Let me see if I can show you this one. Oh, it was kind of fun. That's why I like that one. Can't see. There it goes. Ends up looking like this, you know. And mind you, I needed to do more on the denoiser here, but yeah, pretty cool workflow. So that's an eGPU with a mobile card. But look, the 4090 card's super fast. The 4080 card's super fast. You're going to be happy with those in X15, and the denoiser in X15 is incredible. So happy hunting. get whatever you can find, I guess, would be the answer. I'm not using my mobile 3080 with 11900 Intel anymore because this AMD machine's way faster to me. But I know that some of the new Intel machines are super fast too. So let me know if you have questions. I got contacts with the AMD rep, and I think I know a couple NVIDIA people. I don't know any Intel people. Get in touch with me, Intel. Is this possible in Chief? Sure. I guess. Sure. But you were just creating a symbol. You're making your own symbol in this case. The only thing that can open really is a door. So how would I go about this? Well, I'd make a door. That's as simple as that. So let's do it. Let's check that out. So I'd throw in I guess I'd throw in a bifold door, just like this. Bam. It'd have to be open. And what are we saying that door was? Maybe 80 inches, right? 80 inches. Got to open it up, set our options. Options is double door only, or we can do custom 2.0, right? And then general, we want to use, it's a bifold, but we want a glass panel. Okay, and we're going to change that bottom because the bottom is going to become the side, right? So that bottom is going to become the side. There we go. And then let's say your left is maybe 3 and your right is 3. Something like that, right? We want to make sure that we've got no casing, interior or exterior. We don't want a sill or threshold. Actually, let's see. Sill or threshold in this case is just a flat stock, but it's offset, right? So I don't know that that's helpful. So probably not. I'd probably just get rid of the jam entirely, right? Get rid of the jam entirely in the casing. Get rid of the sill threshold. There we go. And then we want to show this open. So we got to show it open. Set your options for percent open, whatever you want this to be, 56%, something like that. Bam. Now what do we do? Well, let me see, how can we do this? If we add to library as doorway, what happens? What does it place as? It didn't seem to do anything. It didn't seem to actually add to the library. That's interesting. Oh, it's there though. Doorway. And can I place it? No. So you add to the library as, nope. So we're not going to use add to the library as. Let's just try add to library. This is still a doorway, right? So it's not very helpful. So here we go. This is when we need to convert selected to symbol. Okay. And we want it to be the fixture specification. Symbol type, I mean, or symbol category is what they call it. Let's show advanced options. Let's press OK. And now we're going to get into the 3D panel. And let's rotate this thing in the X, I believe. Or Y. Y. There we go. Rotate it in the Y. Now this is going to, you could set it to insert into wall, but we'd probably build this into a doorway and then resave it again. Okay. Now you see here when I place it, it's got the wrong 2D symbol. I needed to make sure in the 2D block to generate that block. There we go. That looks more appropriate. Now what we want is let's just convert. Let's change this to, let's see, what's our overall width on this? 6'6" and 7/8, 6'8", yes. So let's change this to a doorway. Doorway, bam. And we're going to put that jam back on, has jam, has casing, whatever else, has a sill, okay. And then we're going to put this here, point to point, however that's going to be. Let's pull a view. Look at that. Needs to reflect about itself. I didn't mean to. I want it to reflect about its center of itself. I wish we had a better option for this, but there we go. Picked it up right there. And then we have a new tool. Look at this. This was my request. Chief did it. So happy they did it. So select next side. I have this bound to a hotkey. Easy for me to do. Pop this up to the top. And there we go. We've got our symbol. Now let's select all this, convert this to a symbol again, fixture class, show advanced options, yes. And this time I want to say that it inserts into the wall in the options panel, inserts into the wall, 5.5, 6 inches. I don't remember actually, but here we go. Once I place it, it should cut into the wall. There we go. And then the last thing we would do is we would just make sure that it's reference finished floor to bottom. So finished floor to bottom is 0 inches. So we'd actually probably place it in this side. Yeah, and then flip it about itself, etc. You can. Something like that. So we probably need to reverse that symbol. But that was it. All right. Okay, don't save. Let's go. Next one. What do we got? Window apron option missing. Okay, so attaches a niche where I have no option to select the apron to match casing. We've never been able to match apron to casing. No, we've never been able to. It's just incorrect info. So needs to make a suggestion for that. So you can make a symbol and place it, but not going to be able to match casing. All right, brick ledges. Brick ledge. I've been fooling with this for a little while and thought I'd ask which settings drops the brick ledge to show like the detail below. Oh boy, this is going to be hard for me to look at. Let's see, and absorb. Match the detail below. So he's trying to inset a brick into a ledge on. So I would call this lower section a footing, and I would delete that in my CAD detail. So I'd have a footing, and then this is going to be challenging. Not quite sure how people are going about this, what they're doing here. Yeah, I think you have to do this with a set of pony walls, but the challenge becomes, a mono slab and detailing that. So that's the biggest problem. Yeah, you see someone here has a big set of workarounds, but this is why I don't detail things like this out and try to get it done in the model itself. I do this in the detail, and then I bubble things and point you to a detail. I don't think we have, I would make a suggestion. Let us make slabs that are polyline based from a section cut. Would be one way we could go about doing it because we could solve a lot of issues that way. But yeah, have to look into this. This one's not an easy one to just answer on the fly, so we're gonna skip past it. I might look at it later though and see what happens. Exporting to JPEG in V15. We're in V20 3, so it's X15. Difference in time it takes to export to a JPEG in version X15 Premiere. It's calling it version 15 Pro. It's been calling it all kinds of different things. Version 14 usually took around 5 minutes. Seems to be taking twice as long. I mean, I would change some settings around. I don't know that it's taking any longer. I don't think so. I'd send your plan in. Definitely take advantage of the denoiser. I don't know if they're using CPU ray trace or PBR ray trace. Here's another one that's a ray trace question. Hope someone has encountered and solved this issue before. I've had it happen in the past and somehow it either correct itself, etc. I've tried blanking all except for the cameras, the plan where the rendering's been working, then importing the problematic plan into, but boy, one might want to check your own text here. It's hard to follow this stuff. I don't think it's a hardware issue. I'm using X7 on an Asus ROG. Boy, that's an old system. So he's doing a CPU ray trace is what he's talking about here. And he's not able to provide a plan. So pretty difficult for us to do anything about it. But I would say you just don't have enough lights turned on. So it might be that you don't have your lights turned on. That's it. So if we open up a new plan here, and we drop a bunch of lights in. Let's just use a string light, for instance. And then if we go to, if we're looking at like the extended tools toolbar, we've got that, this drop down right here, adjust lights. And we got a rope light, and it's in the default set, right? So we're making sure that those lights are turned on. Adjust lights, default set. So we're using that default set. Bam. And do we want it on or not, right? Got a lot of cool new tricks within this dialog box. So pretty happy with that. That's an X15. The other thing you can do is if you're pulling a particular view that you want to CPU ray trace from, and if we edit that active view by either clicking on the camera icon when you're, and then clicking on, edit settings, or in here, we can do a number of different things, one of which is choosing a light set. Maximum lights is 20. You can see only these lights on over here. If we change to a light set, it's going to turn on all those lights. See, just like that. So you can edit that active view before you take it to CPU ray trace, but that is not for X7. That's for X15. I don't remember anything about X7, so we're not going to give advice based on that. How to change the angle of a roof beam. The default angle of a roof beam is vertical, but I would like to place it perpendicular to the rafter. Can someone please advise me on this, how this can be done? Let's see, can that be done within the software? I don't know. Yeah, only blocking and purlins will auto-rotate to align the roof planes. But I mean, so I guess you could build in a purlin. You could also always convert a beam to a fixture and have it. How would you do that? You can make an electrical fixture follow slope. So that'd be one way of doing it. The other way of doing it is just building it with a soffit and telling the soffit that it's actually a beam. So we can open this up. Anything that's an object has an object information panel, and it also has a components panel. So in the components panel, we can in fact tell this that it is framing. And from here, set all these different parameters so that it reports as a framing member in case you care about that particular data and your material listing, but or your bill of materials. So maybe a way to do it. Otherwise, you might be able to get clever with some framing members. As someone said, the purlin will change its angle. So like, let's get into my roof plan here. Let's just make a hip roof. I mean a gable end roof, and open this up. Let's see, structure. I think we could do include structural purlins. And let's just say it's 6 foot on center or something like that. Rafter flush against rafter bottom. Let's do that. Let's take a look at what happens there. And get into build all framing. And that didn't give me what I wanted. I wanted this guy. So, granted, look, we can use that next side tool, and I can stretch this. That's not quite right though. That's not what I want. Could get to this, but I don't want to spend too much time messing with this. I know there's a way. There is a way. Spacing 72, thickness, width, bottom run offset is equal. Push against rafter bottom. Let's just say that this is 24 on center. And this is the other thing you could do. Build all framing again. Takes that away. What's happening there? Yeah, and this looks like blocking. So I think you'd actually need to have a totally separate line item here. Let's go insert below. And then I have to think about this. Change to rafter bottom, rafter top. What changes here? Use spacing, yes. Multiple roof framing layers not supported. Okay, that doesn't work. Huh, might have to come back to that one. I feel like I have an answer for this, but I'm not quite there. There's a way to get this to be a roof beam that works. Look at that. That worked. Just stole it. Stole it from its place and put it where I wanted it. There you go. Magic. I don't know everything. I know some things. Is there a way to show this roof to wall waterfall type effect? Yes. Kind of. Kind of. Be challenging. I would, I mean, it's just somewhere along the lines, it's not going to quite look right. Because the first thing I'm thinking is that this becomes roof planes. That's the first thing I'm thinking of. So let's say, for instance, you just copy this to there. And this, let's get this in a camera view. That's it's going to be challenging. Can we just do, no, not quite. Let's go, what's our fascia height here? Top height, copy. Ridge top height. Bink. Okay, let's lock that. And let's say our fascia top height here is 12. What happens? For that, we want it to be like this. Or so. Lock ridge top height. What happens now? Right? You know, so we're kind of getting there. And then, yeah. And you'd have to cut it around features. So that's one way of doing it. I know you could probably get there that way. Right? You'd have to cut around this window. The wall would be interceded. You'd have some discrepancies with the wall. That'd be challenging. The other way to do it is just that this is a 0 overhang, right? And then you're speccing that. You've got no gutter off. And you've got what? Maybe all this is turned off. What does that look like? And you'd have to get some infill. Maybe leave the fascia in place. Yeah, this is another one I'd have to mess with. This would get you pretty close, I think. You might mess around with structure panel on your roof. Might put 2 roofs on there. Yeah, you'd have to mess around with this one for sure. Let's see. We put the fascia back, eave sub fascia. And then you have to build. Gable fascia. And then can you paint it? Would it get you anywhere? I don't know. And then global symbol mapping might get you there. Good question. Right, so then if we edit this, texture, global symbol mapping, does that get us to the look? Not quite. Not quite. Yeah, so a few things you'd have to mess around with, play around with. Sure, we could get it. No room definition grayed out. And he provided a DWG, which doesn't help us at all. No room definition boxes grayed out. Maybe he's just selecting a... Maybe he's selecting a room as opposed to... No room definition grayed out would be on a wall itself. Let's see if he posted the plan. Come back and post the plan. Old Ridge plan. Here we go. All right, so there's the plan. Let's see if we can't mess around with this. Old Ridge plan, and he's saying that these walls, no room, well, set to railing, structure, panel, set to railing, terrain, retaining wall, visible. Okay, no is grayed out. Interesting. So why would that be? And deck railing fence. I'm missing something here. What am I missing here? We draw out a deck railing fence. What happens? The takeover. No room definition. Oh, it's the category of wall type, deck railing fence, right? So if we just did a room divider, for instance, does that change things? How would no room definition be grayed out? Interesting. We're on level 1. Chief has some kind of memory built in here. Let's see. And we're not able to. Huh. Okay. Very interesting. This one's new. I'm missing something obvious. There's a room. So break this. Let me say invisible, no wall type. Let's go deck railing fence again. Interesting. It's remembering something. Huh. Let's see who solved this. I bet someone solved this. Oh. Wall definition. We were getting there. We were close. Dang it. Dang it. Deck railing fence. What do we have here? Fur framing. Funny. Wait. Just to be frugal. Structural panel. Double wall section. Ah. And how do we fix that? Let's see. Framed fur framing. Partition one. Properties. Huh. Where is he saying that lives? I actually don't know. Looks like your deck railing defaults are set to be furred walls, structural panel, double wall section. I don't know. Not sure. Is that the last one? One I'm going to be stuck on? Shower door transparency. We got some new capabilities here. How to make the glass door see-through in vector view. That one's super simple. So, oh, but he's saying shower door. The door is a different one. How to make the glass door see-through in vector view. Yeah, I've run into this before, and it's like there's a double-sided effect going on with the shower door itself. So let's say we are drawing out. Let's draw a little curb here, and we're in a shower door. And let's go ahead and turn on. This is all my template stuff. So transparency general. Oh, I'm using air gap there. What's this one? Glass. So in vector view, that'll make it transparent so we can kind of see through it. And we can paint this to here, there, and then we're going to say this does not clip to room. Right? So we're not going to back clip. So we should be able to see through. Yeah. That way, if we've got a backsplash back here, should be able to see through it. So what's different? This is not the default plan. So let me see if I can get to program files. And then Chief, and then templates and residential template. So in here, let's draw out. Oops, that was a funny one. Okay, and shower door or shower partition, right? And then what do? They've got a shower. One of these is a shower door, right? Door tools, shower door. There we go. And now there's the where's the shower wall? Don't know. Is there a shower wall there? There is. So it's the same material, right? If we click on this, yeah, glass temper transparency, sure. Right, so that's see-through. Is this the same material? It is. I wonder why that is. I'm actually not sure. Because mine seem to look just fine. Texture panels, nothing there. Right, you can't see through it. And is it the way the door is made? I think I made my door. I think that was part of the reason. What happens if you pump that up? Doesn't seem to affect the shower door at all. I think if we take, all right, so let's take the door and see what it's got in its material panels. So materials, door glass tempered. Door interior, door exterior. What are these about? Door interior and door exterior. It's just, I don't know that it matters. I don't think it does. This just came up and someone had a solution for it too. I swear I saw it somewhere. Very interesting. None of that changed here. I'm curious what the solve is for this one. I don't know this one. I did see a solution for this. What are we seeing Jacob saying? In vector view, use material color or use custom color. Okay, so this is something I must have set up in my own plan. That doesn't change anything. Yeah, that didn't change anything. Still totally not see-through. Fake window glass. So this is not a window. So what's the deal? Who else has got a response to this? I don't think that helped. Uncheck opaque glass. Okay, let's try that. There it is. Someone had a solve. Good. Glad we went over it. Those people that aren't on ChiefTalk just learned something new. Look at that. Uncheck opaque window glass. I didn't know that one. That's a good one. Cool. Learned something new. And then pivot doors. I do have a video about pivot doors. We don't have built-in capabilities yet. You can go find that on my YouTube channel. I have some methods for that. So I'd say go take a look at that. That's an easy one to go check out. I think that's it. I missed on a couple of these. There's a couple I want to go back and mess around with. The roof wall waterfall effect. What did someone say? Yeah, not quite right with just roof planes. I don't particularly love that method. Yeah, that's the only response we got on that one. And there was another one. That no room definition would still get me. I didn't quite understand where that was being set to a furred wall. I thought that was in wall types. Let's go look at that real quick before we close this out. So let's open this up. This is that deck railing fence. Double wall, furred wall? No. That shouldn't be it. So curious as to where that was. Oh, that is that it? Double wall, furred wall? Shouldn't be considered a double wall. Oh, I did fix it somehow. No room definition is gone. And we're using, no, see, this is the deck railing fence. Foundation wall, railing wall, no locate. Still has no room definition. That's it. Double wall, furred wall. Why is it being considered a double wall? Huh. Interesting. Don't know. Well, cool. I ended on a sour note. Should I just go one more page just so we answer one last thing that's cool? Macro to pull draw data from wall. Yeah, we got that. Joe Carrick put out this for free, so that's always nice. He put out an info macro. If you go look in the ChiefTalk forums and search Joe Carrick and search object info, I even have it up on my toolbar, so when I drop a leader line in here, I can pull information from anything. So that's really useful. I'm sure he's responding to this. I bet you anything, probably. Yeah, Joe's got some info here. He's got a label macro package, so go hit him up. That's a good one. And then let's answer one more. I use keynotes in my plans. When I delete the last plan keynote callout, it deletes the corresponding schedule entry row. Here's my question. There are times I want to keep the schedule row intact and just rename it to not use. Well, you would just rename your keynote to not use, then put it somewhere else, like in a CAD detail. So that'd be a method for that. So cool. Ended one on when I actually knew. Thanks for watching this. Hopefully I gave you some good info. Give me some feedback. Let me know if I missed something. I love it when you guys tell me a better method. So yeah, let me know if you got a better method for something. All right, and next time.